Here at our house, we have anywhere between 5 and 15 chickens at a time. So we needed a pretty big coop. And when it came down to going to buy one, I wasn't about to spend $1,500, $2,000 on a coop that was gonna be big enough to fit what we need. So here's what I did. I jumped onto KSL, which KSL is gonna be the equivalent of a Craigslist or a Facebook marketplace or just whatever your local marketplace is, and start looking at sheds. People have sheds in their backyard that they don't want anymore, and they're either giving them away for free or for extremely cheap. And a lot of these sheds are still in really good condition. Get onto the marketplace, find yourself a cheap shed. For us, we ended up getting an 8x10 shed, and it's working perfectly for us. Let's check it out. So it locks here on the front. When you walk in, it is just a chicken's paradise. And this was cheap, this was easy. I'm definitely not a good builder by any means, and I built everything in here. So we didn't do a whole lot to the outside of the shed. Most of everything we did is on the inside. What we did do to the outside is we drilled a hole right here to bring in some power, and we drilled a hole down there, or cut a hole down there so that for the chicken door. So if you look here, here is the roosting ladder that we built. And this was just really easy. I think this is just 2x3s. And we just cut on, made a ladder, and then we have our heat lamps up here. My wife was able to find these nesting boxes, and we just put them up on some cinder blocks. These nesting boxes were, I think she got them at Target or somewhere, or at home or somewhere along those lines, but realistically you can put whatever type of nesting box you need right there. Just to make things easier on us, we made a big feeder out of a garbage can, and we can put about 3 bags of food in there, and it lasts us quite a while. Here's our watering bucket. We're gonna be upgrading to a 55-gallon drum at some point, but right now we've got that bucket with a little chicken nipple things. Literally everything on the inside of this, we did not spend more than $100. It wasn't really all that expensive. We were able to do it really cheap and really easily, and it got us into a new chicken coop much cheaper than we could have possibly imagined. I'm going to show you guys how I have this chicken door set up here. I have this line here with a little carabiner, and right now the chicken door is closed. So if you look here, it runs just through a little eyelet. It runs through a little eyelet, goes over there, and drops down to the chicken door down there. So when I pull this, it slides up and down. If anyone's curious on how I made that, let me know. I'd be happy to make a video on that. So when I open this, I just take this carabiner here and I pull this line and I put it on this little loop. And if you look in here, the door is open now. We've got Simone coming in. So that's how the chicken door works, super easy. Another very important piece to this is a lot of times sheds will come with shelves. Pull those shelves off and you're gonna wanna use them. So if you look here, we have this little step going into the chicken shed right here. And what that is, that's an old shelf, and it's the perfect length to go across the front of the shed. And what that allows me to do is do some deep bedding in here. And that keeps it nice and sanitary in here, it keeps it nice and clean. I mean, if you look here, you're not seeing chicken poop everywhere, and this ends up turning into really good compost after a while. And it really does help if you have a good barrier right here and it's not just flat going out of your shed. And moving on to our chicken run, this honestly cost more than the shed did, but we built a chicken run so that way the chickens aren't running all over the yard. And we just built this out of 2x4s, nothing too crazy. And we also repurposed a chain link gate. And if you look here, we're also doing kind of the deep bedding deal out here as well, so that way we can get some good compost from these guys. And they have access right there into the chicken coop. And let me show you guys how we made this connection over here. We slid the chicken run right up to the chicken coop. We ended up driving some staples right into the chicken coop there from the fence, so that way nothing can get in through out here. We don't want any predators to be able to squeeze through that gap right there and be able to get into the coop, and that's why we put those staples right there around the chicken door. Keeping chickens is super rewarding, super easy. I didn't realize the difference between farm fresh eggs and store-bought eggs until we had our chickens. And when we bought this house, it came with chickens and it came with a coop, and we really just wanted to get something bigger, something nicer, something that wasn't so old and beat down. If you guys would like to see any part of this coop in more detail, let me know. If you guys want to see exactly how I did any part of this coop, let me know. I'd be happy to show you. But don't go spending thousands of dollars on a large chicken coop. It's really not worth it. You're better off find yourself a cheap shed online and do exactly what I did, because it works great for us. Do me a favor, we just made a TikTok. It's going to be kind of the less edited, more just kind of on the fly version of this channel. So go over there, check that out. I will put a link in the description below. If you got some value out of this video, go down and hit the like button. And then what I need you guys to do is go watch this video right here, because if you got some good information from this one, hopefully you'll get some good information from this video too.